What are some of the big data trends that are leading the discussions at today's event?
Yeah, sure. So I think there's a lot of discussion about AI, about data manufacturing, so warehousing, lakes. What we're trying to do really is to create an amazing experience for data consumers. So away from all the technical work that needs to happen around building a model, pushing data into a model, how do people actually go and consume the output? And how can they do that in a really frictionless way? So often what you'll find is data consumers really struggle to know what data is available, where to find it, how can they use it, how can they access it. And what we're doing with Harbr is creating a platform where those consumers are able to really easily find, access, use, and if they need to, distribute that data in order to realize value. So we're really at the value end of that spectrum as opposed to kind of building models or kind of creating LLMs or developing AI.
Yeah, sounds great. And you mentioned a lot about AI there. How are new trends like AI impacting the data space? Are there any new challenges that they pose?
Yeah, so I think with AI in particular, I think you've got a lot of challenges around how do you get enough data to feed them, and how do you feed those models with data in a really controlled way. Because if you push the data into a model, you kind of lose control of the data, you potentially lose control of the value as well. So I think that's kind of a new trend it's not necessarily new, but certainly there's a renewed focus on that trend where people are now starting to kind of want to use AI, and they understand that data is probably the limiting factor. A lot of what we're doing with our customers is really helping them to make data access very, very easy and adding a lot of governance around that data so that they can use it in relation to a model, they can use it in relation to AI without losing control and without necessarily losing their value transfer as well.
Yeah, no, that sounds fantastic. And one last question for you today. We've spoken to a few people at the event today and asked them for one big prediction for the future of data. What would your prediction be?
Honestly, I think we're probably at the point now where people have spent so much time and so much money centralizing, kind of reformatting, restructuring, essentially manufacturing their data.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are now coming under a tremendous amount of pressure to show value. And I think to do that, that really requires the end consumer to have an amazing frictionless experience, because that's where the value's realized. So my prediction would be that the spend and the focus within the data space is going to shift from warehousing and lakes and data manufacturing over to the data consumer experience and making that really streamlined and what it needs to be to deliver value at scale.